You may not know it, but this week is National Pulmonary Rehabilitation Week, and it runs through the 16th. And here to talk about that is Alan Lewis, who wears a bunch of different hats at CHI Memorial. Alan, good to see you.
Chip.
And you have brought Mr. Carter Frierson, who is one of your cardio rehab patients. Mr. Frierson. Carter, excuse me. Glad to have you here as well. Tell us about pulmonary rehab. A lot of folks think they grasp the idea, but they're missing a lot.
Well, it's National Pulmonary Rehab Week, and we're celebrating that we can help lung patients after they have a lung event. Pulmonary rehab is a program designed to cover folks who have what's called chronic obstructive pulmonary disease.
Right.
They have inflammation of the airways, chronic bronchitis, a lot of phlegm, a lot of mucus plugs, they can't get air in and out, or their air cells are inflamed, that's emphysema. And so what we do is teach people first how to be better, efficient breathers, and sometimes supplemental oxygen is needed. Through exercise, we can strengthen the arms and legs, which is less of a strain on the lungs and on the heart. A lot of these folks are fearful of doing anything. They're afraid to move.
Which COPD and other forms of pulmonary problems, they're going to be exacerbated by another illness the patient may have. So it's certainly something we need to stand up and take note of. Carter, tell me your story. How did you get involved with Alan and the folks at CHI?
Well, I was very fortunate to find out Chattanooga actually had a first-class pulmonary rehabilitation program with monitoring and everything else. Because you can waste a lot of time doing the wrong exercises at your own gym,
right,
and not help yourself become a more efficient breather, and not help you the other organs of your body, process oxygen well. So I'd gotten to the point where I had shortness of breath, and then I was diagnosed with pulmonary fibrosis, and it got to the point where I could not walk 1 mile, even baby stepping, in one day. And so for about 3 years, I just got worse and worse and worse, unnecessarily so, out of ignorance.
Right.
And I'd not heard of pulmonary fibrosis. A year and a half ago, I found out about it, got in this program. I'm in better shape now than I was 4 years ago. I still have the same amount of scarring tissue that limits my oxygen intake. I have that type of restrictive disease.
All right, you said teaching folks how to be a more efficient breather. If someone's watching at home, what's the 30-second synopsis on how to be a more efficient?
You have to learn how to breathe from your belly with your diaphragm. We become chest breathers when we're inefficient breathers, and almost 50% of his energy could go into breathing inefficiently with his rib cage instead of using his diaphragm. So there's something called pursed lip breathing, which is the way you exhale, and diaphragmatic breathing, call it belly breathing. If you're a singer, you learn how to breathe from your diaphragm.
Or any sort of other musician where the lungs are involved. I know it's one thing they taught us in choir years and years and years ago. Breathe from the diaphragm.
Exactly.
And obviously, Carter, in your case, it's worked.
It has really worked. It really has.
What else would you say about Alan and the program they're using down at CHI Memorial?
Well, I'll speak to the part that is totally non-professional.
We like that. You go right ahead.
The people in there some of them are cardiac, post-op, recovery.
Right.
And a few of them, maybe 20% at most, are pulmonary, but they all use the same machines, but they use them differently depending upon what they need. So they have, for me, what really matters is they have therapists who are pulmonary therapists in there who have set up a program for me that allows me, instead of not being able to walk a mile, to do 4 miles on machines in an hour, and then go do a half hour of weights.
We only have a few
3 times a week.
We only have 3 times a week.
That's it.
We only have a few seconds left. Would you say this has definitely been a game changer for you?
Plus, I would not be here today if I had not started doing this a year and a half ago. I was going downhill.
It's a great recommendation.
Numbers were bad.
Guys, I wish we had more time. Alan, good to see you.
Thanks, Chip.
Carter, thank you so much for making the effort to come down and join us. And if you would like to find out more about what they're doing for CHI Memorial Cardiopulmonary Rehab Week, all you have to do is call 495-7764 or check out the website memorial.org.